Okay, bienvenue, welcome, konnichiwa, dobre day. Okay, exactly. Hey, I'm Allan and this is Kelvin Cato. We have exciting news to share with you here, and we hope you had a lovely Easter. How was your Easter, Calvin?
Excellent.
Nice.
Still, house full of grandkids.
How many grandkids you have there?
Only 6.
6.
6 out of 19.
6 out of 19. You are a blessed man. You are a blessed man. So we hope that you had a lovely time with your family, beautiful meals, beautiful memories. We hope that's what happened for you. And hear that you're joining us today and you got your turkey sandwich or your soup and you're just going to have some lunch and maybe spend a little bit of time with us. And so here's what we want to share with you is about the Caring Employers Healthy Teams Collaborative. Caring Employers Healthy Teams Collaborative. I'm super excited about this, but before we even start on that, let me ask you this question, Kelvin. Do you think there's anything more valuable in this world than health, than your health?
There's nothing more important than health.
Exactly. If you got health, you got opportunities to play with your grandkids. You got opportunities to climb mountains. You got opportunities to do whatever activities are important in your life, right? If you've got health.
Yeah.
And if you don't have health, well, then you have less opportunities. That's kind of the reality. A lot less things that you can enjoy or do or be or have. And so health is the good that you just can't have too much of, right? Would you agree?
I agree. I volunteer with the Good Samaritan's Lodge, and we see the opposite side of health.
Exactly.
Whether it be physical or mental, there is a real problem when you don't have good health.
Exactly. So we started this project just thinking in terms of block pricing. Hey, how can we get better value for our clients? How can we, get them lower rates, longer rate guarantees, better coverage, and a real concierge experience to transition to this new plan, this new program. But we were, I think, kind of undervaluing what this could be. Really what it should be is about health and encouraging health for you and your team is really what it's about. So we used CEHT GPT. Have you ever heard about this? It's basically online. You can access it for free. It's artificial intelligence. It's an amazing thing. So with our brainstorming, and then we use CEHT GPT, we kind of come up with steps. Kelvin, what's step number 1 that we want to share people with?
Well, step number 1 is we're wanting to identify all those who we want to collaborate with. Clients, companies, and just people in general.
Exactly. So we've had the conversations with the different insurance companies and had very, very positive feedback. Would you agree?
Yes.
So we've had conversations with insurance companies. We're still selecting the final ones we're going to do, but we've had great conversations there. They're really receptive. Now we're coming to you, and some of you, we've told you about this block pricing thing, which in essence is this. Instead of you being a group, let's say you're an employer or you work in an agency and there's 7 employees in that agency. It's 7 employees. Instead of it being a benefit program for you 7, what if instead we can go to the insurance company with, hey, here's 2,000 employees. Here's a much bigger client. We want to get the best value possible for every one of these. So that's kind of where we started this process. But going back to what the benefits, if the role of the benefits is to produce health for you, health for your team members, if that's the goal, and we know that health is the good that you cannot have too much of. So if we can increase the health for your agency or your company, and in so doing, then your folks, your team members have better health and are better able to serve your clients better, right? That they, who you're trying to do or the difference you're trying to make in the world, that's what we want to do. So we're inviting you to be part of this collaborative. And it's not our collaborative. It's not just Calvin and I's collaborative. We want to be part of it, but it's you too. We want you to be part of this as well.
And I think we look at it as overall wellness. If your employees feel that they're well taken care of and feel well, it will pass on and your company will feel well and you'll have company wellness.
Exactly. Imagine, if you will, going to work every day and being super excited about the difference you're going to make, right? That it's not, oh, I have to deal with this person, or I have this, or it's going to be stressful, or I'm not going to be able to have lunch or go to the bathroom because I'm being so overwhelmed. Imagine that experience, and then imagine the experience you just going to work and being super excited to be there and making the difference you want to make in the world. That's I think what we're hoping to get to. The pricing part is just one component. It's just a component that is going to help get the best value long term. But this whole collaborative where we're working together, maybe we're sharing best practices, right? Maybe we're talking about, hey, this worked at agency A. How about you in agency D? You might want to try this. Maybe it's going to produce better results for you.
And it may work for the 18-year-old just coming into employment, 65-year-old who's just coming to the end of their employment.
Exactly. Health is not just one thing, of course. Health and wellness is not just one thing, right? I look at it in terms of it's all about being able to have the experiences you want to have, to be able to have the time and the energy to make the contribution you want to make in the world, and to be there for your loved ones, to support and encourage and help them on their journey, right? So does that resonate with you, Kelvin?
It does. It's not just health. It's even after that. Suppose something does happen. Short-term disability.
Well said.
Long-term disability. How to prepare for retirement. That is all taking care of your family. It's not just the day-to-day workings, but what's going to happen tomorrow should something happen, should an emergency happen.
Well said.
And so we want to help take care of you today while you're working, and for your companies while your employees are working, but help them work along that progression and be able to take care and prepare for the emergencies that happen.
Beautifully said. So we can all have a failure of health. Things could go wrong. We can get into a car accident. We could have a heart attack. We can have, these things can happen, right? We have cancer that we have to deal with, like that we want to solve that problem in our bodies, right? So we have these failures of health. If you have those failures of health, we want to be the ones that can help you to have enough income replacement that you don't have to worry about the income. You can worry about restoring your health.
Yeah.
Right?
That's one less thing to worry about.
Exactly. So that's the role that we hope to play. And I'm not going to go too far in saying this, but let me say, I know of we're a boutique. I'm going to call us a boutique agency. Do you agree?
Yes.
We're a boutique benefits agency. We're not for everybody, right? But if you want team members on your side that are working for you and your team, like your team members can contact us directly as well. If you want that kind of level of service, that's us. So if we and our clients, we know them by their names and we value and appreciate and are there to serve them. So you are not in any way, this other agency that I am aware of, they would refer to their clients as skulls. This group has 50 skulls. Well, that's horrendous. Like, that's bizarre. We want to be that it's Stephen, or it's Amy, or it's Rob, whatever you're our client, we want to be the one that's going to support you. As an example, if let's say your name's Stephen, you call me at 10 o'clock in the evening and say, I had a heart attack, I'm in Scottsdale, I'm worried. And I can say, Stephen, don't be worried. You have great travel coverage. Have you called the 1-800 number to make sure that you get that concierge service with this travel claim? Have you done that? Do that. And then once you've done that, we're going to look after you. You're going to be fine. Worry about your health. How about we get your wife over to visit? Your benefits will allow that. How about we get her to come visit you? If that was, let's say Stephen was there on a solo trip. That's the people that we want to be for you. Okay, we kind of talk step one. What's step two, Calvin?
And we will use the many years of Allan's experience, probably 30 plus years, and the experience that we have and the coalition of companies, insurers that we deal with, that we negotiate and get the best policy and plan and package for you.
Exactly. So again, the things we want you to have, because, okay, think about this. Your employee benefits are aligned on your income statement. And whether that's 5,000, 50,000, 500,000, whatever the amount that thing is, we want to produce better return on that investment. And how do we do that? By working with you in this collaborative, by working together to get this solved. So we're looking for people who want to join us. We're looking for people to be part of this collaborative, who will be the team leaders, maybe also the team members who say, yeah, I want to be part of that collaborative. I want to make a difference in my health, the health of those around me, and the health of my organization.
And our overall collaborative or coalition with the insurers that we are dealing with insurers that will take you by name as well. We don't want you to be client number 1775, and no name and no face to it. We want the insurers that we deal with to be active like we are, so that we all can basically help you with all of your health needs.
Let me interject one thing about Kelvin. Kelvin is like, he has a black belt in do-goodery. He's been with Rotary for years. Him and his Raymond Rotary Club have made thousands and thousands of people's lives better because of their efforts. They're like very organized, very caring, just very focused on making the world a better place. And I think I can add, like, I'm not a do-gooder to Kelvin's level, but I'm learning, I'm trying. And so I think for the rest of our life, I think we can make the most meaningful contribution, even more meaningful than anything we've done in the past. You agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So this is what we're trying to do with your help, okay? With you being part of our collaborative, or we are part of the collaborative, so we inviting you, come join us, right? All right, so we're gonna basically form this collaborative, hoping that you'll be part of this. In that process, our role is going to be kind of to facilitate the collaborative, to assist with the collaborative, to take team member and team leader inputs in terms of what suggestions, advice, product differentiation, services would lead to greater health in your workplace. What would do that? What would do have better wellness, better health outcomes in your workplace? Let's say you know those numbers. You know your absenteeism rates. You know about what people in your workplace are struggling with, right? What if there's strategies that we collaboratively can find that are going to make that better for you? And by the way, we will take any gender member, but here's one thing that I learned from Dr. Bruce Perry. Do you know who Dr. Bruce Perry is, Kelvin?
No.
Okay, he wrote the book, The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog. It's an amazing book, and it's a book that really makes it clear that no matter what has happened in your life, there's ways that you can recover from that and have a fulsome, beautiful existence. The title story is a boy who, this young woman had the child, and she couldn't take care of the child, so the grandma took over taking care of the child. But the grandma was in advanced years and in poor health, and then had diabetes and all kinds of mobility issues and that kind of thing. And after a couple of years, grandma died. And so somehow, some way, this child just kind of reverted or transitioned to the care of grandma's boyfriend. And grandma's boyfriend, male friend, I guess is the best way to describe it, didn't know anything about kids. Only knew about dogs. So he treated the boy like a dog, put him in cages with the other dogs, let him out, and then, fed him on with dishes like the other dogs, that kind of a thing for years. And when Dr. Bruce Perry, I just about confused that for my friend, Dr. Gerald Perry, but he's not a doctor, but he's a wonderful man. We met him 2 weeks ago. Dr. Bruce Perry says that he has this neurosequential model of development. So he goes back and studies when this child had all these things happen to them and says, these are the missing components. These are the things that if we backfill this, we can restore this child's future. And at the end of that story, he's going to college, he's got a girlfriend, he's like a fully contributing member of society. You would never think from that prognosis a screeching child who's throwing feces at people and has no communicative skills where they can have that kind of recovery. But it's possible. So the point of getting at there, that was a long story to tell you this. Dr. Bruce Perry says that if you have a board around the table, you have 12 people sitting around the table, virtually or in person, and the one criteria that's going to create the best possible outcomes. What do you think it is about the makeup of the people on that table? Do you have any idea? Is it their experience, their ages, it's gender? The more females you have around that table, the better the results you're going to come up with. That's what he says. And he's a super smart man, and I believe him. If that's what he says is the truth. So if you are a caring team leader and is female as well, hallelujah, we really encourage your voices, because we think we're two guys, and we're pretty smart, but we could use some feminine direction and guidance to be able to do this as well as possible. Would you agree?
I agree, but we do have feminine backup people in our wives and in our administrative assistants.
Yes, very much so.
So we do have that as well, but it takes a bigger group, a group with the employee, the employer, we as the advisors and the insurers,
Right.
all collaboratively coming together for the best optimal result for your company and for your employees.
Yeah, exactly. And is this a brand new idea? No, not really. I mean, I was talking to Lauren down at Warwick Printing. He helps me. He built this banner for us and such. A really nice man. I've known him for years and years and years. And so when I was explaining him the concept, he said, "Oh, there's a professional photography organization, and they, as a collaborative, got me as a photographer all these tools that I couldn't get on my own." Well, that's kind of the value in a collaborative. How can we work together to get everybody's needs met and get more for everybody? Better benefits, lower cost, better rate guarantees, and just the ongoing support. That part of our role is we're going to be at the highest level able to assist you with your program. We're going to be alternate group administrators for your group, right? That's what we want to be. I mean, you don't have to have that, if you feel that's intrusive, you don't have to have that, but we feel it gives us the maximum ability to contribute to your health and wellness and the success of you and your team. Okay, what's step 3, Calvin?
I think we've pretty well covered step 3.
Okay, get this team together.
Yeah. So we build a comprehensive package.
Yes. Now here's where we're starting. You have a program in place now. Maybe you didn't give it a whole bunch of thought. Maybe you did. Maybe the package you have is exactly what you want. So our initial step here is just to transition you over with the same plan you have, but just make it that it's lower cost, better benefits, and longer rate guarantee. So those things is what we want to achieve for you. Once we're all together and collaboratively working and exchanging ideas, there's going to be things that we're going to come up with that are going to be of help to you in enhancing the health and wellness in your organization. So one of those, like, we're researching new products all the time. We should mention about AIA. Do you agree? Is this a good time?
Yeah.
Tell us about AIA.
AIA, it's a health spending account that is a little bit different than others. It's not directly tied to a benefit package, but it is tied to a credit card. And so rather than going through the hassles of a benefit package, AIA gives you a preloaded credit card that you can go and use for CRA approved expenses.
And it's basically the same administration charge from a normal health spending account, 10%. That's very, very common. But this one, instead of you having to pay, send your receipts in, even though you have a fancy app and everything to do it, then your payment is right at the point of purchase. You're not out of pocket anything. There's some people who live paycheck to paycheck. That's a reality, right? Yeah. And that's not, no shame, no blame. That's your circumstance, and that's okay. But if in fact living paycheck to paycheck, you need a health aid, a health resource, something to move your health and wellness along or recover from an illness, and you don't have the money in your jeans to buy it, you're not going to get that help. Whereas this way, with this credit card, you just go in, this is the service I need, you produce your credit card, you get the service you need. And are we certain that it's going to work well? We don't know, but we're going to test it first. We've applied, we're going to try it, but if it's as good as they say, it's going to work really slick.
Yeah, you walk into your pharmacy and your plan says it pays 80% of your prescription drugs. well, your plan will pay that. The other 20% is right there, paid and out of the way with that credit card.
Exactly. I go to Recharge Studio for massages on a regular basis. That's beneficial for my health and wellness. My plan pays $50 of it. My service is $60. When I have my AIA card, then, which we've ordered it, it's coming. When I have my AIA card, then I would just, here's my credit card for the other $10. Boom, done, right? I don't have to submit anything. I don't have to deal with anything else. So I'm super excited about that. So these other services and products, we're going to be making them available to you, making you aware of them, and giving you the option if you want to participate. We would also like to be able to meet with you, if you have any interest in this concept at all, meet with you and understand where you're at. What things do you think in your workplace are important resources that aren't maybe happening? Like, let's say you're in you said about Good Sam's, right? The folks at Good Sam's, that's a lot of times that's very thankless work that they do, right? And they're working very hard to help move people in and out and get them fed and, you know, those kind of things. It's hard, challenging work. Well, maybe they need more support in massage therapy and chiropractor and physiotherapy, and maybe they need more instructions in kinetic, how they move their bodies to keep their body functioning long term, right? What is it? Let's try and find that resource collectively, because we know it exists out there. So
yeah, you have a 120-pound nurse trying to lift a 300-pound man in and out of bed. That's going to take some strain and create a little bit of problem.
Exactly. Or maybe it's not that. Maybe it's more related to, you know, you are in a very a victim services sort of a format. Let's say that. And, you know, the people that you're trying to help are having really kind of the worst days of their lives, right? They've had horrible things happen in their lives. And so you are taking that in, you're counseling them, you're supporting them, you're being there for you. Well, who refills your cup, right? Who restores you and your emotional and mental well-being when you have to hear those stories and those, you know, those challenges, right? I think it takes very special people to do that kind of work. I don't think I'd have the capacity. I think I would crumble under that kind of, those pressures.
But as we develop the plans and the packages, there's probably going to be places that you may need to have virtual assistants.
Exactly.
Where you can call someone and get counseling over the phone or online. And that can be part of the developed package that we look for you.
Exactly. And so Calvin and I also want to be very, very responsive. If you see here, my team at allanfriesen.com, we want to be able to, we will respond to any email we get from anybody, period. And if there's value, we're going to be able to offer. We've been around a lot of years, and I think you'd agree that basically kind of what knowledge comes from experiences you have, books you read, interactions you have with other people. The longer you live, if you're interested, if you're engaged, the more of those experiences you have, so the more you learn. Would you agree?
I agree. And we're not just looking at your overall health and well-being strictly through the plans. You know, we have a mutual friend who sells investments, and we came across a plan for retirement disabled savings plan.
Exactly.
So if you have someone who's under the age of 49 disabled, they do have an opportunity to invest in a retirement savings plan for the disabled.
Exactly.
And there's lots of funds available for that.
It's incredible. And you may think about this. Let's say you're a single mom and your child has type 1 diabetes. That would qualify under that registered disability savings plan. If you then get connected with that, we wouldn't do that. We would connect you with our friend Val to do that. So you get connected with that program, and then what's going to happen is the federal government is going to match 3 times to 1, right? So if you can find $300 a month to put in it, they're going to put $900 a month in it, because you might be concerned as a single mom, what's going to happen to my child when I die, right? Or when I become unable, at some point in my life, when I become unable to care for this child, what's going to happen? Well, here's a way to make that happen, right?
Yeah. Just even saying your employment ends and you retire and you don't have the same disposable income to help out.
Right.
So then your child has a savings plan that's built in and can take over to help assist in living.
Exactly. So those are ways that we want to be able to provide assistance, support, advice, guidance to you, right? And that's whether you're the team leader or a team member, makes no difference. You send us an email, we're going to do our best to add value to that. And we will gladly have a Zoom with you to discuss your situation. And maybe all we can do is listen and offer encouragement. Maybe that's all we can do, but that we'll gladly do.
And that's part of what we plan to do is give, which is the ongoing support and ensure that you're aware of any changes, any things that are going on, that we can help support you in all that you're doing.
Exactly. So part of our thing is if you're a member, if you're part of the collaborative, right, then we also want to be able to express your benefits, like have a PowerPoint that we would come either Zoom or in your workplace directly. And our focus is on Southern Alberta. We want to come and see you eyeball to eyeball. That's what the level of service we want to provide. So we want to come and see you, do a presentation for your team. Hey, here's what your benefits are. Here's how you use them. Here's, do you have any questions about this? Here's a question that came up recently in one of these sessions. People, there's more than one person there, did not have a doctor, as a lot of people don't have doctors. 50% of our population here don't have doctors. Well, they were not even aware that there's virtual health, there's the word, TELUS virtual health that all of us, all of Albertans have, right? You can access that, super easy to find. You're gonna, even if you don't have a doctor, you're gonna see a doctor in a couple days maybe, right? Or maybe it's a week, but there's gonna be a little bit of a delay. If you, as being part of the collaborative, want to have more responsive benefits that way for your team, what could we offer them?
Well, we deal with an insurer that has virtual health, that once you connect with a doctor, you can reconnect with that doctor. You don't have to worry about, oh, I have Dr. So-and-so this time, and now I've got another problem. Oh, the luck of the draw, it's Dr. this guy, and then the next time it's Dr. that guy. And so under the plans that we can look at is you can have your own personal doctor if you find one that you feel you're confident in.
Exactly. So you can maintain a relationship on a virtual basis that otherwise you might have had, like 10 years ago, you might have had a physical doctor that you had those exchanges with. But think about it. Physical doctors too. You make the appointment, you go into the waiting room. Often there's people who are sick or coughing or hacking in the waiting room. Okay, you can do it virtually and you can maintain a relationship with the same doctor, right? Now, can he do everything? Can he palpate your stomach and say, oh, you got this? No, but he or she, but you can still do the physical thing for that, right? You can still, but just having access to a doctor who can give you some direction as opposed to Dr. Google, where everything ends in death with Dr. Google. Don't go there. Like, get the professionals to help you, and we can assist you in getting to those professionals.
And these doctors will also order blood tests and be able to direct you to other avenues of health.
Yes, exactly. So what's where are we on our?
We're just finishing number 4, number 5, which I think is going to be our strength, hopefully for you, is we'll continually monitor your accounts. At worst, annually.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And we will be able to track your use and let you know if there's anything that looks a little bit strange, and be able to prepare and get a good renewal rate and renewal plan moving forward.
So part of it is logistics, getting you the best rate for the longest rate guaranteed, getting you better coverage. That's, those are good things. Yeah. But more importantly is what collective contribution we can make on the health of you and your team. That's what we're actually looking for. So if your levels of where people are at and where people need supports, and we can provide those supports, that's what we want to do. Just like, see our little picture up here? This is what we're hoping for. We're hoping for, you got healthy people, you got high productivity, you got somebody, you as a team leader, excited and to be leading this healthy team that's making a huge difference, helping your clients get the difference they need in the world. That's kind of where we want to get to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we want everyone to know it's all of the clients and employers and employees that we deal with, that we would trust that you'd be able to phone anybody that we deal with, and they will be able to tell you the same thing. Yeah, they're confident and they trust the things that we're doing for them.
Exactly. And we're positioning ourselves so that we can have the maximum capacity to serve you. So if we're the administrators of this group, the Caring Employers Healthy Teams Collaborative, we're the administrators of it and the co-creators of it with you, that then we then can be in a position with the insurance company that we have a lot of influence, we have a lot of say. We have, if we discover there's a process that's just not working for your team members, then we can address it with the insurance company and revise it, make it better, make it easier for them to access so they get the care they need.
Yeah, and I think just as we would have a personal relationship with your company, we would have a personal relationship with those insurers and the people that we deal with the insurance companies.
Exactly.
We will talk to them and call them by their name, and they will talk to us in our name, just like we will talk to you by name.
Exactly.
We're not going to, our goal isn't to become this giant, huge company making millions of dollars.
Nope. Let's talk about that a little bit, because Kelvin and I are at a pretty good place in our lives. We probably have enough income that we don't even have to do this. Would you agree?
From past employment pensions.
Yeah, past employment, pensions. We both have access to pensions. We both, we're in a very good financial position. But we also have a lot of value to bring to the table. And we also are looking to make the remaining days and years of our lives left to make the maximum contribution we can to the health and wellness of others. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
That's our main goal.
That's our main goal. So does that mean we're doing it for free? No, we're getting paid. But that payment is, let's speak about that, because part of the payment, 20% of our gross income, we're going to do, it says right here, 20% of our gross income, we're going to do to help people get fed and safe. Because if we're all about health, and those are two things that are prerequisites to health. If you don't have proper nutrition, it's real hard, real challenging to be healthy, right? If you are unsafe, you're in a place where you can't ever relax and rest and be in a safe place to say, all my needs are met, I'm safe, this is a good place for me. It's hard to heal. It's hard to have a very relaxed and what would you call it? Relaxed healing state that you can go forward. Would you agree with that?
Yes. So we look at, our community to be healthy and have wellness.
Exactly. Certainly we don't want to take any away from you and your team being healthy, but we want to extend that healthiness, that health and wellness out to our community, which is why we're probably part of Rotary, right? That's why we've always tried to do this. But here's the difference, I guess, is that with Rotary, your club especially, my club too, has been a whole bunch of things for other people in Costa Rica and Mexico and like all over the world. But here we're trying to focus on what we can do right here in our backyard. Right? How can we make a difference here? Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. 47% of the indigenous kids you see walking down the sidewalk live in poverty. They're not getting enough food. They're not getting enough resources. They're not getting enough opportunities. Well, how can we assist in that? Well, this is a way that we can assist, and you can assist as well by being part of the collaborative.
And it's not just them,
No.
We have Ukrainian refugees in our community that will
Dobre day to our Ukrainian friends,
which will require help getting established and going. So
yes, exactly. So.
And you may be employing some of these refugees, and how important is it to have a comprehensive employment benefits package for these new refugees that are moving into our country?
Definitely. Very important. And perhaps we've done this in terms of maybe we can help connect those newcomers with other people that have shared interests. Here's a good example. I've been having a lovely chat with this, well, you met her too, Alla.
Yeah.
And Alla, big gardener in Ukraine. She had a huge garden, right? And so now she has a small garden. And I've connected her with this person. Her name is Diane, who has a big garden. She can't take care of it on her own. So Alla and Diane are hopefully going to work together, and they're going to have a connection. They're going to have a bond. They're going to, Diane's going to be grandma is what's going to happen for Alla's kids. That's how this should evolve, right? So
Health and Wellness Collaborative.
Health and Wellness Collaborative. Exactly. All right. Do anything else we got to say?
I believe you just need to be able to take a look and say, what can Allan Friesen or AF Certified Employment Benefit Specialist do for me?
Exactly. And we would love you to join us in this collaborative where all of us win. You, as the team lead, as the person responsible for the agency or the employer, what's the hard things you're going to get? Lower rates, longer rate guarantee, better coverage. And that doesn't mean you have to commit to even go with this program. Let's say I'm going to give it a look and just see what kind of results come out. Great, do it that way. If in the end you say, oh, I need to stay with my insurer X because I love them, or I'm worried, or I think that, the wheels are going to fall off if I change away from whatever your belief is, that's totally fine. We're not trying to force you to anything. But when we get back the results of our collaborative approach, the quotes, that what the insurers will do, perhaps you could even take that and just say, you know what, I'm going to disregard all those other collaborative benefits. Just on the hard numbers that I have here, I'm going to go to my insurance company and say, can you match this? There's a good likelihood they will. So there's no downside to you. If we bring you something that you can leverage to get your insurance company to give you better value, that's okay. We're fine with that.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we are asking, if you want to be part of this collaborative, first of all, send us an email, give us a call. Here's the email address, myteam@allanfriesen.com. This is my cell number, 587-220-8840. What's yours, Kelvin?
Mine's 403-360-5671.
Give us a call, have a conversation. We can come meet you. We can do a Zoom. We can have a conversation and then see if there's a way that we can work together, that we can all be part of this collaborative. Because together we're going to be better, and together we can make a more significant difference than we can individually. And that's pretty much always the case, isn't it?
And we feel that the companies that we're going to deal with, the insurers that we're going to deal with, that they're comfortable with dealing with you as well.
Exactly.
So if you want to contact them directly about something specific, you'll have a name.
Oh, definitely.
And they'll be able to say, we can say, phone Joan at this insurance company, and she will take care of you.
You know what? We're going to make it a little more specific. We could even say one of the insurers we're going to deal with for sure is Cooperators. And Pooja, our rep at Cooperators, is amazing. She's responsive, she's smart, she's caring, she wants to make a difference. She's engaging with us to make this collaborative work.
And so does Bev, who is the Alberta representative for them.
Yeah, exactly.
She will give you the same service as well.
Exactly. So if this appeals to you, give us a call or send us an email, and we would love to have a chat with you. If you just want to look at what's the comparison going to look like? We're going to need things from you that you would do to get a marketing with anybody else. Your group data, who's your employees, right? That kind of data. A copy of a benefit statement, a copy of your benefit booklet, a copy of your last renewal. The same things that you would have provided if ever you got a quote to look at your program on your own. But instead of looking at it on your own, we're going to look at it as the collective, as the collaborative, that we're going to go to these insurers and say, here's what we have. Give everybody that's part of this the best value you can. And then we're going to come back to you and say, here's what we've negotiated. And I don't know how the results are. Here's what I'm hoping for. Maybe I'm overly optimistic, but I'm hoping for a 20 20% rate reduction on your current rates. Just match your current rates or make it better. 20% rate reduction, 2-year rate guarantee. That's what I'm hoping for. Maybe it's going to be better than that. Let's see. Let's find out.
Yeah, and with our dealings with the insurance companies, the different blocks, that we'll be able to keep the administrative costs from the insurance companies down as well. And those administrative costs, as they decrease, will also help counter any increase in premium costs.
There's a good potential that we as a collaborative will be able to make way more rate stability, even after the 2-year rate guarantee, that we can have very level type of an increases, right? So that's certainly, there's a strong potential that can happen. We've seen it happen before. So yeah. All right. And you know what? Also, I do a lot of research about health and wellness. Do you?
I do.
Yeah. So we do a lot of research about health and wellness, and we've learned things with our decades of living as well. If there's things that we might be able to share with you to say, hey, you know what? You might want to try this. Let me give you an example. Last week, I fasted for 6 days. I've never done that before. Once a month, I fast for the first Sunday of the month. So from Saturday night until Monday morning, I don't eat. And then what I also tried last week was this thing. It wasn't total fasting. It was a fasting mimicking diet through a company called Prolon, Prolon. Dr. Victor Longo. Yeah, Dr. Victor Longo is the guy who created this fasting program. And it's basically about harnessing the healing value of fasting to restore your body, restore your appetite, solve things in your body, like basically optimize your health. It was quite an experience because I had the first day of full fast and then the 5 days of this Prolon thing where you eat a bar and have a little thing of like this kind of how much liquid and then tea. And that's it, right? So I think it puts you like about 800 calories. So just that you don't feel like you're starving, right? And so I did that for those 5 days last week. It's changed. It's changed me. It's been a good experience. My body feels better and my appetite has got way more healthier in terms of what I'm going to choose to put in my body after that experience. So I'm not saying that's for everybody. Kelvin might not try it. You going to try that, Kelvin?
Probably not.
Probably not. And that's fair. That's okay. There's 1,000 ways to kneel and kiss the earth. This isn't one of the ways for Kelvin. It's a way for me. So,
and some eat meat and some don't eat meat. And those are lifestyles
true. That's totally fine too, right? It's your choices are totally fine. We're not trying to change you. We're just trying to give you options, right? And then also encourage you to try some things if you think it might help you and your health, right? Maybe you're not a meditator and do you meditate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I do too, right? It's found to be a valuable practice. Maybe it's about your spiritual beliefs. Maybe prayer and meditation are a lot alike, I think. Do you agree? Yeah. They're a lot alike. You're putting your intention out there that you want health and happiness and wellness, and that you care for other people and you want them to have health and happiness and wellness as well.
And one thing that we will do is on-site courses or on-site seminars or anything that if your employees need something, we can find probably programs available for them and approach and do in-person meetings with your employees or with your company. So.
Exactly. And so we'll discuss the employee benefits and how you access the employee benefits, and if there's any questions about people's health and other avenues that we might be able to guide or advise or suggest to them, we're going to do that. Not in a prescriptive way, in an invitation way to, hey, maybe you want to try this. Maybe this would be beneficial for you.
Yeah. You just never know when health takes a change and all of a sudden drugs that go from regular prescription drugs to expensive biologic drugs.
Yes.
How do you manage that transition from one drug that's just that you get at the pharmacy? Well, you get them all at the pharmacy, but all of a sudden you end up with an illness that requires a biologic drug that could be $10,000 a month. How do you deal with that?
Well said, Kelvin, well said. And on that same thing, we have insurers that also have pharmacogenetic testing, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times people have mental health challenges and it might take them 3 years to find the right medication. However, if they do pharmacogenetic testing, then they basically get a DNA test done that streamlines. Instead of there being 5 drugs, there's 1. This is the one that's going to work with your DNA. Well, how's that? That's awesome, right? So that we can move your health along to a better recovery and a better level, right? More energy, more health, less anxiety. If we can assist in any way to make that happen, certainly we want to do that.
So so what we're saying is, give us a chance to be able to assist you and your company and your employees to become healthier and have more wellness and be able to serve you in whatever capacity we can.
Beautifully said, Kelvin. We're going to end there. I don't know if you noticed this. I talk a lot and I'm kind of loud, and Kelvin is the voice of reason. He's like quieter and a little more, So thanks, Kelvin, for keeping me on track here. Every once in a while, Kelvin comes over and gives me a little one of these in the ribs. Says, "Shut up. That's enough already." And I need that. If it's not Kelvin, it's my wife doing it, saying, "You talk too much. Just take a breath."
So like you said, this is the way to close it down. Contact us directly. You've got our phone numbers and you've got our email address.
And we look forward to working with you. Thanks much. Keep yourself well.